So one of the weird things on this app, or in doing these kind of videos, it feels still really self-conscious to do videos for me. It is not of my generation, I guess. I used to talking to a tape recorder and play it back and think we were crazy special. But I don't know sometimes who I'm talking to and who the audience is. And I think sometimes people probably are getting overwhelmed or angsty because there's a 17-year-old girl in 11th grade asking about how to get in the game industry, and I'm acting like you're a 35-year-old woman with 12 years of engineering experience already, right? Like those gaps and those different places in your life have different expectations and what you should worry about. Like if I was 16, I would be using Godot because I'd be screwing around, having fun, not worrying about stuff and just trying to learn. And I would try the weird new thing because that may be the future over the old thing, right? That's always been kind of my thought. Though I will say I had a change of heart in a lot of things when I turned 18 for I won't get into. But with that is the path is generally not straight. And I think when I make these, I sometimes I'm not going to change, I guess. I'm going to mess this up, but I kind of want to just capture this because I tried to make this video 5 times now. I think there's points in your life, don't worry about it. It's cool, right? Like I failed out of Cleveland State. My first college, hard. My high school didn't have computers in it till 12th grade. And then we had Commodore 64s. Yeah, I'm old. My first college that I failed out of had punch cards. Oh, you go put your job in and you go wait till tomorrow to see how you did. I failed out of that hard. And then I went to Tri-C and I had a professor reach out to my parents to say I was the best student they'd ever had in their life. I went into that with just a different mindset, and I did all of my computer labs for my programming class on the first day, and then asked why did I have to show up for any other days, and they still made me show up. But like I was just a different person. I had a change of heart on some of this, and then had another change of heart during Tri-C because I met a professor who said, hey, it's okay. And with that, it was like, so the impetus for this was I had this weird going through, moved my office upstairs. I was going through and found this envelope, and this is my differential aptitude test from when I was 16. 1981. There you go. It says I was really bad at clerical. I kept the envelope for 40 years, man. Get lost. I'm good at clerical. But it's like all of these, there was no expectation on me back then. And now I think today we put too much expectation that you are 16 and you're going to go, oh, man, when I give you advice like, oh, no, don't use Godot. Go out there and make Unreal and go make a hit game on Steam. What are you, a lazy bum? Nah, dude. Like, no, screw around, have fun, like be laid back, like don't worry about that. Like it's not that straightforward. And I think the people that I tend to gel with and that I've seen do the best in a lot of ways are the people who do take these windy paths. So, you know, I think for all this, not just for my stuff, but like don't get all wrapped up and worried of someone's telling you something and you're going to get it in your head like, oh my God. I mean, I'm jealous of the tools that you have today and the things that you can make. And that's why I always encourage people to share. The easiest way to share, go to our Discord, discord.gg/StrayBombay. You could share there. It's not an ad for it. We don't make any money on that. I just like to see what people are doing. And then we play people's mods or whatever they're working on, right? Like I like to see that. I like to see if you make a TikTok and you've never made a TikTok before, ping me. Love to see it. Like I like to encourage people to share because that just wasn't what we did back. Right? If you look at my differential aptitude test, there's not one thing about writing on here, even though I wanted to be a writer and I knew I wanted to be a writer, but you didn't dare say you wanted to be a writer. It took to meeting a professor at Tri-C who pulled that out of me and stuck me into theater and said, you want to do these kind of creative things, you should do them, you dumbass. So that was good. Took a windy path there, but okay. But so the two things, right, is like, don't get wound up that you're not where you want to be today. Aim that way, right? But don't freak out. Don't like it is just weird. As I don't know if I could have grown up being 16 today, just because I'm an idiot. I was a really big idiot. Went through a really dark period. Like how it all been captured? No. When people ask about like pictures or it isn't true, there were no pictures back then. Pictures. Oh my God. I maybe got my yearly school picture. I think that was about it. Thank God. So I don't understand that stress. I don't want to live that stress. It's weird doing these. It's weird that I have this thing, which, yeah, it's flaring back up, even though I'm on medication and we've gone over this a bunch. And someone's going to come in here and yell at me that I'm an alcoholic and that's why my face is red. Like, that pressure did not exist back then. And you knew everybody and they were all your friends and they were supportive in a different way than happens now online. Except when you find community. And that's one reason why, how's this for wandering? If you ever wonder why we kick people and ban them on our Discord or Steam forums, that's the reason why. Because we want to have a place where people can share and talk. I've run forums where we said, hey, there's no rules. Everybody's allowed to say anything. And what happened there was it just chased a bunch of people off and it actually limited speech instead of encouraging speech. I want to encourage speech. I'm always fascinated with people who are making things. Because again, when I was 16, I didn't dare say I was going to make something, right? There's no way back then you said that. And now you can. Now you can say that and it's okay. People are encouraging. They're going to look at it and they're going to check it out. And they're going to, when you post stuff, right? There's a really young person posting their artwork in our Discord. That's cool. Like, I love to see that. So yeah, seriously, if you are making stuff, let me know here. If you don't want to go in the Discord, or go in the Discord and share. And then, like, don't get wrapped up. Don't get angsty if you aren't where you want to be. Just be directionally there and try. Like, because I'll say harsh things like, if you're asking how to make a game or, you know, that kind of thing, you're not going to do it because you don't need, there's no gatekeeping. You can just do it. But really, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you're just kind of, I don't know, maybe thinking about it. It's not the perfect career. It's not the end all, right? So you can do something else and still be great and awesome. And there's a whole bunch of ways through there, right? I care a lot more about my family than this stuff. And that's why I don't talk about them. Pass the cats. But right, like, so I apologize if I ever said it where I get somebody angsty about where they are or what they're doing. And for this, I don't know how to do this, talking to this many people and not be that way. Like, it's the nice thing about doing talks is you know where you're giving the talk and you cater your talk to there. And so it's weird when those get posted on YouTube because I'm like, oh yeah, no, for that audience I was giving it to, that was the right talk. And here we don't have that. So thinking a lot about that this week as I think about, like, talking about our games still and people, you know, being weird about that. And go look through these videos. We talk about the problems and struggles all the time. Like, I'm not being arrogant about it. And also, like, the next steps and how much, because everybody, I tell you what, everybody, no matter if there's a point on CSGO, if you would have said something, I would not have been able to take negative criticism. And that's a big hit game, right? So it's just not even that it's a small game, right? It's just everybody who creates stuff, you can tell. And there's like people who just go around and try to attack people who create stuff. And that drives me nuts because you can just tell they've never created something, right? Except orders to their mom to bring them a sandwich or something, like, right? It's like, you can just see that angst and anger. And so when you talk about, like, banning people out of communities and stuff, those people will scream that, oh, you need your safe place, you're fragile. But no, they're actually the fragile ones because they need that place to go scream and yell at people and be toxic. And I understand, like, trust me through, I understand that, right? And so I try to be accepting of that in some ways, but equally protecting of the people who do want to talk and be themselves. And so that's what we try to do with our community. And that's why I think of, like, going forward of what does that community look like and who am I talking to and what part of that. I don't know. This is a wandering one. Because these are the thoughts in my head this weekend. And I kind of do these because someone in the comment is going to say something smart and make me think in a better way. So if you've gotten this far, I thank you. And don't worry if you don't have something in the comments. I still thank you for listening, just as I try to work through some of these things. Thanks.